welcome back to our news station for the month of February. And let me tell you, we got lots of information for you. So we want to make sure we give you all that information. But always, my name is Crystal Stew, and I'm here with...
I'm Ryan Evanson, filling in for Mari Wines, who's busy growing a baby. So I'll be filling in for the next few months at least.
That is true statement.
Yeah, can we do a couple shout outs real quick?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Allie, our own operations director, and Ronnie had their first baby, little baby Savannah, a couple of weeks ago. Maybe we could get a little shout out for them.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, any other shout outs, I think?
No, I think that's good. I mean, I think the reality of it is, you know, we want to give shout outs to our team members as we continue to grow our family and our team. We really want you to know we're always here for you guys. But the reality of it is I know you probably don't want to hear us talk about how great our team is because you want to just get the data, right? That's kind of what they're here for, right?
Well, let's talk about it.
Let's get after it, right?
All right, Contra Costa County. We're always going back a month, so this is for February. There was, oh boy, there was about 515 sales in Contra Costa.
That's correct.
Be talking here, right?
Yes.
There's about 515 sales in all of Contra Costa County for the month of February. Now, the average price of those homes was just under $900,000 at about $885,000. And the good news is over half of those sales were under $710,000, right? So still a pretty good little average price point. Now we know Contra Costa County, you got a big range there. There's a property that sold at the highest point, almost $5 million at $4.9 million in Lafayette. And then in Concord, you had a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom condo selling for about $175,000.
Pretty much all over the map. That's what you gotta love about Contra Costa County. You get a little bit of everything.
Absolutely, right? You wanna go high, you can go high. You wanna go low,
go
super
low.
affordable, you can do that too.
Awesome.
Now there's certainly, I think there's about 815 homes currently on the market right now. And as Chris will talk about in a little bit, after he breaks down East County, the name of the game is gonna be interest rates and inventory. So those are two things that we're gonna be tracking pretty heavily. But let's go ahead and dive into East County.
Perfect, I appreciate it. So I'm gonna talk about East Contra Costa County as always. Last month in February, we had 176 transactions. Average medium sales price was at $650,000, which has come down quite a bit from last year's highs. And also half of those were under $630,000. Now, Brentwood did have the highest sale home last month, which was $1.55 million. And then Antioch had the lowest home, which was at $200,000 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo. So, as you can see, there's still a good price range in East Contra Costa County. There are some active listings currently out there, but inventory levels have been very, very low, and they have continued to be low. We have not seen the pickup in spring inventory markets currently that we were expecting in the first week of March, second week of March, and we're gonna continue to keep our eye on the inventory levels, but they are very low here in East Contra Costa County as a whole. Okay. That being said, I want to talk a little bit more about what's kind of going on in the market. You probably have heard the news with Silicon Valley Bank and the feds and everything else that's kind of happened. And so I've done some research, did some digging around and kind of get a little bit more of the back end of everything that's happening. And so one of the biggest things that I want you to know is, as you probably have heard already, the feds are stepping in with FDIC and they're basically bailing out Silicon Valley Bank. They do not want a banking crash, basically. That's not their goal. But anytime you raise interest rates at the level that you did, it's going to put pressures on certain industries, banking being one of them. One of the things that most people are not talking about with this, which is kind of a shocker to me, is nobody's talking about the feds lowering the reserve requirements for banks in 2020. Well, you give a bunch of banks a bunch of deposits and don't have reserve requirements, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to spend that money and try to make more money, right? So some of this has to be done with that, and that's why you see the Fed stepping in. It's because they know they should have raised the reserve requirements to make sure there's less money out there in the field and to make sure they weren't just spending the money. So here you are. So that being said, it put a lot of pressure on the 10-year note. And I'm gonna let Ryan talk to you a little bit more about the interest rates because we've seen a huge change in the 10-year note in the last week, 10 days maybe?
Yeah, probably.
Right?
Just under 10 days.
Just under 10 days,
yeah,
right?
Actually, just at a week.
Yeah.
So, lots going on, right? And we'll take a step back real quick. We know that interest rates over the last 12 months, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster ride. This time last year, I think we were still in the high 2s, maybe low 3s. And over the last 12 months, we've seen rates go up nearly 4.5%
Yes.
in some cases. I would call that a roller coaster. I know you would call that a roller coaster. Over the last month, we've seen some changes. Now, one of the biggest reasons for this change is we're trying to combat inflation at the Fed level,
Yes.
right? So the thought is that we're doing a better and better job of combating inflation, and we really thought we were getting some good news there because rates were responding in a positive way and starting to come down.
Correct.
So we moved off of our highs, which were probably 7.5%, and started to move down into that mid-6 range. And then all of a sudden we started to get a little bit more reporting, and inflation wasn't quite where we wanted it to be. So we started to tick back up, and then boom, last week we have the issues with the banks. This is going to be something that we track, right? And our expectation is in the short term, what we've seen with the 10-year and with mortgage-backed securities, it's all positive for rates, meaning rates should be coming down. Have we seen that on our rate sheets yet? Not yet, but we're hopeful that we will. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Certainly going to keep an eye on what's going on with banking institutions around the world, certainly here in the US. So we have an idea of what we can expect for the spring buying season, because like we said earlier, it's going to come down to two things: inventory and rates. Rates for our buyers, rates for our sellers. They've got to be in a good place that allows transactions to flow. And if they go up too high, we might see some buyers step out a little bit, kind of like we saw towards the...
Same with sellers. They'll step out too because they're like, I'm not selling unless I have to.
Well, sure. I mean, I think one of the stats that we read was nearly 70 to 80% of American homeowners have a rate below 4%.
Correct.
So if market rates today are 6.5 to 7, it's going to take an awful lot for a seller to say, you know what, I want to sell my property
Correct.
and get a new loan on a new house at double.
Oh, it would be very close.
Right? Hit your pocketbooks a little bit. So anyways, that's what's going on right now. We're going to keep an eye on it and report back.
Oh, hold on. Community update.
Community update.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the community update golf tournament next week?
Yeah.
Ticket to Dream?
Yeah.
I'm super excited to volunteer at this tournament. I believe it's the 16th annual Ticket to Dream Golf Classic. It is an amazing time because, one, I get to see a lot of familiar faces, and number two, we get to help kids impact one day that is just going to help raise so much money. And we can't thank all the sponsors, thank everybody who's helped us out already with everything we've been able to do. This event is hopefully going to put about $750,000 into the foster care program and be able to help kids with just being kids, right? That's can be anything from school supplies to computers, to clothes, to jackets, to anything that we need to use that money for. And one of the best things about this is it's such a great organization that every single day puts kids first. And so if you want to get involved, you want to help out, there's going to be a link here. You guys can donate. We'll make sure that funds goes directly to Ticket to Dream and is going to help our local kids here, right here in Contra Costa County. And as always, we can't thank everyone who's always helped us out over the last 4 or 5 years with Ticket to Dream and giving back to kids. So if you want to get involved in any of our events, please reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to have you a part of it. And as always, we're looking forward to next week playing a little golf, hanging out with some great friends, and raising tons of money for foster kids. Thank you again. Thank you again for tuning in to February's news station. As always, we want to bring you the data, bring you the facts, and make sure you know what's best out there currently in the real estate, mortgage, and even solar markets. So as we continue to grow, we want you to know we're always going to be here for any questions that you have, and we just want you to know we wish you nothing but great success in 2023. As always, talk to you soon.
Until next time, take care.